I'm turning my dream house into my dream home, one room at a time. And in this series, we are tackling the kitchen. I am taking my kitchen from builder grade to a luxurious modern oasis. I've already posted a few videos in this series. If you haven't seen them, I highly encourage you to go check them out. Today, I'm going to be showing you a lot more details about this beautiful kitchen renovation, but on a budget. All right, y'all, excuse the mess, but I wanted to show you guys something. The tiles came in and these are what they look like. So it's basically almost the same tiles as the one we have now. This is kind of dirty, it's dusty. It needs to be cleaned, but these ones are cleaner. But yeah, it's basically what we have now, but just these ones are whiter because the countertop is gonna be white. So see, this is what it looks like. So see how much of a difference. The one there matches what we have here because it matches the countertop. So when you see it right off the bat, it doesn't look like, you know, it makes sense. It makes sense right now. But however, this is basically, let's just pretend this is what the countertop is going to be. It's going to be similar to this, but just more white. This has some brown in it. But yeah, so because of that, these backsplash will not make sense because they'll be darker. So that's why we need the white one. So I'm super excited that they, you know, they got the boxes in. We have a lot. So it's going to be from that corner to that corner and this corner. And then whatever is left over, we can return. The good thing about Floor & Deco is that not only do they have a lot of options, you can also return anything you don't use. I also got a new faucet. That's the one, again, excuse the mess, but this is the one we have now. It's pulled down and it has the, you can switch. Let me show you. You can switch it from, oh, I gotta turn it on first. You can switch it from that to this, and then you can also pull it out. I like that a lot. However, this handle is pretty old and sometimes it comes out. See that? So it's time for a change. So I decided to go with a brand new one to match the new style. I wanted to do gold. However, this one pulls down and it also sprays kind of like the black one. However, it doesn't have the sensor. So I think I'm going to return this one and get the one with the sensor. However, they don't have a gold one and I really wanted something gold. So I'll either look online and get one or just go back and get the black one that has all of the things that I want. These are going to be the under cabinet lighting. They are going to hardwire this into the electricity box so that it has a longer life, and they're going to set it up where it's going to detect movement. So as soon as you walk closer to the cabinets or the countertop, it's going to come on by itself. We're going to have some up there because they're building the custom cabinet all the way to the ceiling. So we're going to have some lights in those cabinets. We're going to have lights under there and there, and we're also going to have lights under here. We currently don't have the light there. This is where we left off last time. The guys were bringing in the countertops. These are white quartz countertops. They have already been cut to size, and all we have to do now is install them. All of the other corner pieces have been installed, but this is the biggest piece, the island. We're also going to be installing a waterfall, and I'll show you what that means in a second. So, for reference, this is what the old island looked like. Again, very beautiful, very simple, but I want it white. So we are switching this up for a brand new white quartz countertop. All right, so as the countertop is being installed, you can see here that the majority of the work has already been done. They have measured, cut, fit, they've done it all. So this is really the easy part. They just have to make sure it fits, and then they have to, I guess, quote, glue it down, and then also add the waterfall so it looks seamless, okay? But this is the easy part. At least that's what I was told. All right, so now that the countertop is in, look at the drastic difference. The place already looks brighter and much more open. So the guys are just trying to make sure that everything fits where it should fit. and making sure that everything aligns, okay? So this is him ripping off the plastic. It does come with plastic covering to protect it, and then once it is installed, they ripped the plastic off. This is what the stone looks like. As I said, these are quartz countertops, and this is kind of like an off-white. I know it looks pretty white in the video, but it has a slight off-whiteness to it, and it has like brown graining. I will be honest, what I really wanted was the off-white color with gray veining. That has always been my favorite. However, there was a mix-up and this was what was delivered. But as you can see, the countertops have already been cut, fabricated, and it's a little too late. I mean, I could have stopped the whole process or project and started all over, but I decided to just keep it moving. Sometimes when you do projects like these, something comes up, and I really wanted the stone that I wanted, but I didn't get it. It's okay, because you'll see at a much later stage of this project that the countertop actually match my floors because I have dark wood floors. So I decided to just keep it moving. So anyway, this is just me walking around looking at, everything. You can see again, the whole kitchen already looks so much different with the wider countertop. And this is what I was going for. It looks much more open and it's just more my style. The other one was really beautiful. As I said, I have it in a few of my other homes actually. And I am going to keep those pieces, the older pieces, for my next project, hopefully. But this is more of my style, and this is what I wanted in my own home. So anyway, moving on to the backsplash. I told you all that the old backsplash matched the old countertop. So we have to switch up the backsplash to match this one. So it's going to be similar to the old one, very, very similar. However, it's going to match the new countertops now. Otherwise, I would have just left it in, but it just wouldn't make sense, okay? Design-wise, color-wise, look-wise, it just wasn't going to make sense. So we decided to rip out the old backsplash and put in new ones. So this is what the guys are doing. They're actually going to have to replace the drywall as well. So it is a whole project. Before I forget, I know a lot of you have been asking if this is recommended. Knowing what I know now, I would say absolutely not. If you live in your home, it's really, really hard to have your kitchen renovated, bathrooms renovated as you live there. It's really, really hard because sometimes the project does not go as planned, which is exactly what happened here. A lot of things didn't go as planned, and especially the time frame. It was only supposed to take 2 weeks for the project. It ended up taking a lot longer, and I'm just being completely transparent. So if I knew then what I know now, I wouldn't renovate my kitchen as I lived there. I would do it. Maybe I would buy a house, pick out my renovations, have them do it, and then move in. But, living there and having a full-blown renovation, especially of a kitchen. The kitchen is the most expensive project to do in a home. The second most expensive is the bathroom. But yeah, the kitchen is the first most expensive renovation, and it's also very, very time consuming. And think about it. The kitchen is the heart of the home. This is where you cook. This is where you warm up your food. This is where you wash your hands, wash your dishes, prepare your food. So imagine your kitchen being shut off for a lot of days. And some of the projects went wrong. We had to redo it. It's a whole lot. So again, if you ask me if it's a good idea to renovate a whole kitchen, I'm not talking a few changes here and there. I'm not talking just maybe change the countertop or put in a few light fixtures or, a few outlets. That's not what I'm talking about. Those are tiny little updates. I'm talking about a whole kitchen renovation, as you see here. We're doing cabinets, we're doing backsplash, we're doing countertops, we're doing lighting. We are doing a lot. We're doing painting. We're going to have to paint the kitchen once we're done. It was a whole kitchen renovation, and I highly will not recommend it if you live there. If you didn't live there, highly, highly recommend, because the kitchen is the heart of the home, it is also the biggest selling point if you want to sell the home. It just gives the kitchen adds like $10,000 to $20,000 onto the value of a home. So Is it recommended to renovate or redo the kitchen? Absolutely. Is it recommended to do it when you're there? Absolutely not. And that's just my opinion. But anyway, the guys are ripping out the backsplash and they are going to go ahead and install the new one. And as you can see here, as they are ripping off the backsplash, they are also installing the waterfall. This is what I meant by the waterfall. The waterfall effect looks like the countertop is extended all the way to the floor. So it has that seamless flow from the top of the counter all the way to the ground. And this is why they call it the waterfall. A lot of kitchens do not have this, okay? Most times you just have the countertop as you see there or as you saw before, which is really what I had before. But this is a more modern and a more expensive touch to your countertop or your island. Again, a lot of modern homes have these. A lot of older homes have them too, but you see them more in modern homes. It just gives it that upgraded look, which is what I was going for. So again, it's already been cut and fabricated and measured. So now they're just installing it. Again, this is the easiest part. This part literally took maybe 30 minutes to an hour to install all of the countertops. But the other little details are what took longer. A lot of things were done wrong. So they had to be redone. Like the backsplash was installed wrong. It was a little uneven. So that had to be reinstalled. And that in itself added another week to the project because we had to pick out more of the tiles and they had to rip out the old one, put in new drywalls, put the tiles in, wait a whole day for it to dry, come back in, grout it. And even with putting the tiles in, it had to be spaced correctly this time. And all of that just ate up a lot of the time. And it was really, really time consuming. But anyway, this is what the drywall looks like. As I said, they had to rip out the drywall. So they have to put in brand new drywall to then put the tiles on to match the new counters. Speaking of the new counters, or countertop, this is what the waterfall looks like. So they've already put both sides in and this is what it looks like. So if you've seen those brand new apartments, those fancy apartments in the sky or just the brand new homes, most times this is what you see. You see the waterfall counters and they're in the luxury apartments. You know, all of the new girlies, the rich girlies have these. They have them in their home. The high rise, that's the name I was looking for. A lot of times you'll see these in the high rise apartments. They're really pretty and they're really, really nice. I don't know how to explain it. And they also create space for your bar stools and you can sit at the countertop in the kitchen as the other person is cooking and just have a conversation. You know, it's just an upgrade. It's a beautiful upgrade to the home. And this is the look I was going for. And you can see the veining here. I didn't want a lot of, he thought he was in my way as I was filming. But anyway, I didn't want a lot of veining in my counter. I wanted something really, really simple, something that was less busy than the last one I had, which is the reason I was changing it in the first place. So if you really look closely, you'll only see a few veining. However, I wanted more of a gray, you know, white and gray type veining. But again, I'll show you all a close-up look of what I meant by the graining is actually brown. Even if you see the first video, you'll see that in a lot of those videos when I was picking out my slab, I talked a lot about the ones with the gray veining, and all of the ones that I was liking and touching, they had gray veining. This is really, really similar, but it's just not what I picked out. All right, y'all. So now that the countertop and the waterfall has been installed, you can see there that the drywall has been installed as well on one side, and they are working on the other side. But he is just perfecting the waterfall, making sure that the connection between the actual countertop and the waterfall portion is seamless and there's no like jagged edges. So he kind of like whatever that thing he has in his hand is called, I guess is a sander. I'm not sure, but he just does it to where everything just fits nicely and it feels really smooth when you put your hands on it. So this is a view from the upstairs. This is what the countertop looks like. I'm sorry about the lighting. The lighting was not good during this time, y'all. I don't know what was going on, but the lighting was not the best. But here is a close-up look. It looks beautiful. He's cleaning it. We have an outlet put in. You know, I do blend a lot here. And look how beautiful it looks. It looks absolutely amazing. You can see some of the brown there. Not really. You have to go close. And like I said, I'll show you guys a little later. They are, you know, putting in the glue. I don't think it's called glue, but that's what I'm going to call it. He's putting in the glue. He's wiping it down, making sure that all of the little spots are gone. And as you can see, I have one large farmhouse sink. This is how I like my sink. I don't like the two sinks because it just takes a lot of space. With my sink, I love it because I can fit any and everything in there. And it's just one big open sink versus the two separated sink that I feel like it takes more space than anything. So I like the big, large farmhouse sink. And I'll also be installing a new faucet. I think that's where we left off last time. This is just a quick look of the drywall. See how it was all ripped out before? Now we're in a space where we can put in the drywall. I'm sorry, the drywall has been put in. Now we can put in the new tiles. This was the first time the tiles was put in and that was done wrong. So we had to redo it, which again extended the time of the project. So this is the old faucet. It was old and it was kind of broken. So I have to pick out a new one so that they can install it while they're here. First, before I get my faucet, let's head on over to Lowe's because I need a few things at Lowe's. And I'm going to explain to you guys a lot more and how I was able to cut a lot of the budget with this process or project. So we're here at Lowe's. Let's go ahead and go on inside. Lowe's has a large selection of lighting for those of you who want to update some of your lighting and you don't want to break the bank. Lowe's is great for that. Hi. I was filming as I was walking in and one of the guys at the counter, he was joking with me and wanted me to put him in the video. But anyway, let's go on over to the paint area. We have to pick out new paint for the cabinetry and it has to match the new ones and the old ones. So the new cabinets are going to be painted and also the old ones are going to be painted. This was one of the things that took forever too. This is pretty. I like that black and white and the neutral on the countertop. That's pretty. That's very pretty. So this is kind of what we're doing with the cabinets. Yep. And then, well, we're gonna have an island, but this is similar to what we're doing. See how the cabinet goes from down there all the way to the ceiling? That's pretty. Anyway, we are here for the paint. Just as I was saying to you guys about the tiles and the backsplash, the same thing applies with the paint. They say white. What color do you want? I want white. Okay, go pick out the white you want. And then you come here and there's like a million white. And this is just a sample, okay? There is a lot. Each cart has like 3 different whites. Look at this. 3 different shades of white. So this is where it gets really confusing and this is where you have to be careful because if you don't choose your colors right, you could mess things up and it could just look off. There's a whole nother aisle over here too. A lot more white. So see what I mean? These ones are the single ones, but you can actually take these carts and I guess compare it against your other stuff like your stone and your wall color, your cabinet color, and then you can choose which ones works or works for you. I just wanted to show you guys real quick, like this, the options, they're endless. So another thing you can do, you can grab one of these and they have all the options inside. Let me show you. But anyway, so you can grab something like this and actually take it home. And this gives you an idea of, you know, what possibilities you have. So these two colors go really well together and it shows you in this picture. These three colors go really well together, and again, it shows you that combination there. So they do make it kind of easy for you. But yeah, if you're looking to paint something, that is an option. So I'm taking this home. And I'm gonna choose my color, the color that I want, and then we'll go from there. Okay, next things are the cabinet handles. So since I already have cabinets that have the black handles, I have to come and choose the new handles for the new cabinets, and it has to match. Doesn't have to be perfect, but it would be nice if it's perfect. So these are the options. They have silver, round ones, circle ones, wood ones. That's kind of cool. I like that actually. White ones, pearly ones, crystal ones, and the prices are different as well. This is the neighborhood that I need to be in, either in here, well, just that neighborhood up there, or in this neighborhood. This is where my blacks are, but I already see my handles. This is the handles that I already have. Now this is slightly smaller, I think, but this is the one I have. I should have brought one of the existing ones, but I already know the handles, so I can't go wrong. So in here, this is what it looks like, and it's almost $7 a piece, and I need 12 of these, so I'm gonna go ahead and grab 12 for the new cabinet so that we can match the existing ones to the new ones. And the last thing I need to do is grab some lights. So once you pick your paint colors, they will actually mix it. They have the base here. They have all of the base and the primer. But once you choose your color, and you can do buckets, you can do the gallons, you can do the liters. They have a pretty good option here that you can choose from. So anyway, you choose your color, they will mix it to get to the color that you want. So even if you don't have the specific sample, they'll get it to where you want it. And you can even take pictures, videos, or you can even take the cabinet door off and bring it to try to match it to the color that you want. So usually if I need to like refresh a room, I usually get a chip of the paint off the wall and then bring it here, and they'll color match it. They have their mixing machines over there. They'll do their thing, put it in the machine, stir it up, and then you get the color that you want. So yeah, that's what we're going to be doing for the cabinet paint. They also have the strip lights. Remember I told you guys that we are going to install strip lights in the cabinets so that we can have under cabinet lighting, and then the new cabinets are going to have lighting inside. Now the guys are going to get the light, but I'm assuming this is what it looks like. So it's like a long strip, and they attach it to the wall, and some of them are hardwired. You have your remote, and if it's hardwired, it lasts longer and you can control it with the remote, versus like a pill and stick one, kind of like the ones that I had. Those ones you have to charge really frequently, and they don't last as much. But if it's hardwired, it works with your electricity. They have the smaller boxes for smaller areas, and then they have the bigger boxes and, you know, higher watts or voltage. So yeah, I'm not gonna do color. It's just gonna be like that soft, kind of like these over here. That's what it's gonna look like. It's not gonna look like, you know, those disco club scene lights. No, we don't do that over here. It is kind of cool though. Yeah, that's pretty cool. That one changes color. But exactly, this is what the lights are gonna look like. They come long like that, and see how that one is hardwired, which means it's connected to the electricity somehow. And you can just use your remote to change the setting, go from warm to high to whatever. But if you don't want to commit to something that serious, they do have these ones as well that you can just, again, I call them pill and stick. They have the stickers and magnet, and you can just use those and use the remote, and then when they die, I guess you can recharge them or put the batteries back in them. So those are not bad at all. Okay, these are are our options. They have 3 kinds. They have the silver, the gold, and the black. I kind of want to go with gold, but I don't. I want something really simple, really sleek, but also very modern. So I think we're gonna go with the black one. This is the kind we're going with. So it comes with the soap dispenser right there. It comes with the touchless handle, which means you don't even have to touch it. And then it also pulls out. Here it doesn't really pull out, but as you can see, it's swiveling. So it pulls out and then it also sprays. So that's what I want. And that's the one we're gonna go for. So either this one, the Jaden, or what brand is this? Studio Design. This one is Studio Design. So it's gonna be either that or that. And these are the prices. So the Jaden is $206 and the Studio Design is actually cheaper, $149. Studio Design is $149, the Jaden is $206. But these are what it comes with. Single handle touchless pull down kitchen faucet, matte black. I love that. And so yeah, it also comes with a dispenser. So let's go ahead and grab one of these. I would have loved to go with the gold one, but this is too modern for my liking. And I don't want to overdo the gold in the kitchen. The pendant lights are already pretty, so I want to leave it like that. And we already had a black one. It was similar to that one. But yeah, just do something really simple and sleek. That versus this. So we're gonna do the Jaden. I wanted to show you guys, they have some super cool bathroom stall sinks here. These are so cool. Look at this. These look like bowls. I actually have something similar in my guest bathroom. The one I have is similar to this, but I love the clear ones, love the dark one. These ones are stone. Oh, these are really, really pretty. Really, really pretty. And let's see. These are like the more natural stone type look. That's a huge one. That's pretty big. I'll show you guys the one I have in my guest bath. This is similar to what I have in my guest bathroom. It's simple, it's really pretty, and the faucet is so pretty. I have to show you guys when I get back to the house. But yeah, I just wanted to show you all these. These are really, really pretty, and they're just like different. They're different from what you normally see. Ooh, look at these. We're gonna go get the grout. For those of you who don't know what the grout is, the tile comes like this, right? And it has those spacings in between. See those spacing? So when they put it on the wall, you'll have those spacings. So there's something called grout. They mix it up, make it like cement, and put it between it. Basically, this is the grout. And as you can see, they have different colors of grouts. So they have, you know, that's a little darker. This is even darker. These are lighter. But yeah, it comes like this with the spacing, and then you put the grout, and then it looks like this when it's installed. So let's go get the grout. Yeah, this is their floor areas. So behind these things, you have all of these flooring, and these are the samples. So if you want dark wood like that, you lift that thing or open it up. They have all of the dark ones back there, you know, all the options. They have these beautiful wall panels as well. Really, really nice. You can get them from here, and they're back there. So you just come here and open it. So this is the aisle. These are all grouts, by the way. These things are heavy. They're like 50 pounds. These are what we're looking for. They come with different color, different styles. Some of them even have, and then you have these as well. So see how the options are, like they have a lot of everything. It's just so confusing. But they already told me what we need, so I already know it's one of these. However, I don't know if they're going to provide it or if I need to get it. So I'm just going to go ahead and get a bag. And then if they provide it, I can return it and get my $27 back or $29, whatever it is. And this one says it's touchless. Does it do it by itself, or does it have to be hardwired into anything?
Well, definitely needs to be either battery or it is car wire. So it looks like it's batteries.
Okay.
Okay. These good batteries connect. Everything's good. This is the self-dispenser. Okay.
Oh.
So this is what you see from the top.
Gotcha.
Bottle goes with the bottom. Now, question: left or right?
Right. I would say center.
Center?
Yeah, like pretty close to the thing itself.
Okay. I'll keep it 8 inches away.
Okay.
Okay. If you eventually decide not to have it, and you have just an empty hole, what you can do later is just replace it for a disposal button.
Okay. A garbage disposal button.
Yeah.
Okay. So the new faucet was installed. I really like it. I love the fact that it's super simple. It is a matte black color. It's super simple and super easy to deal with. And one of you suggested that I keep the box and the battery information so that if it ever goes out, I'll know what to do or how to fix it. So I took note of that, and I'm going to be keeping that box. But anyway, we are back to the house. Today we have the cabinet guys here. This is Jeffrey again. As you can see, he already installed this whole side of the kitchen. Now he's doing the smaller side. So he's just making sure that all of the studs are in the right place and, you know, making sure where to put, you know, the drills and all of that good stuff. But yeah, the kitchen is coming together. Over here, the tiles are getting put in. I told you all that the tiles were very similar to the old ones. These are called subway tiles, and they are one of your probably most inexpensive tiles, but they work. They work in every space. If you're going for a more simple look, subway tiles are your friend. Like, they work in every space, modern, contemporary, antique, whatever, you name it, they fit. But certain tiles, especially with all the options that they had, certain tiles only fit in certain spaces. With this, if I ever decide I wanted to change my style later, it's still gonna fit, and I don't have to rip out the backsplash to start over. So that's the reason I decided to just go with subway tiles. So the kitchen is gonna be pretty simple, but then the decor, it's what's going to make it pop. And again, the reason I like a more simple, plain, I guess, white template is because I can just play around with my style throughout the year. All right, y'all. So all the cabinets are in. The tiles are in. So now the whole kitchen is closed off in this little plastic room because they are going to start spraying the cabinets. This is how they closed it off. This is to protect the whole house, basically, of the fumes from the paint, but it also protects the cabinet from us going in there and touching things and messing, just messing things up. This, again, is what I was talking about when I said that it's pretty inconvenient because the kitchen was closed off for a few days because of this. So I want to say about 3 days. And it sounds simple, but when you live here, when you can't just get up and go to your kitchen and make food or wash your hands or wash dishes or, grab something from the refrigerator, it's it's inconvenient. It's very, very inconveniencing. And you basically have to buy food and buy everything or maybe go over to a family member's house to eat. However, is it worth it? Yes. Will I recommend it? Again, absolutely not. And I'm just being completely honest. Alright, family, so the plastic bags have been taken off. This is what the kitchen looks like so far. As you can see, it's almost done. They just have to put a few things back on. So number one is the doors. They have to come back and put all of the cabinet doors back on. Yeah, that's one of the most important things and the biggest thing. And then they have to put all of the drawers back. That's what that is. I told you all this, if you are in your home and renovating it, it's a hot mess. I have my couch covered. I didn't cover those ones because they're kind of far away, but I have this one covered. I have the rug kind of covered a little bit, but this is where the biggest mess is. And deep in the kitchen is where the biggest mess is. It's dusty. It can be kind of a construction site, really. So keep that in mind. And you're not gonna have your kitchen for a while as well, because they're gonna do a lot of electrical work. They're gonna do a lot of, if you're changing your countertop, they're gonna have to cover it like you see here. So you're not gonna have access to the sink. Keep that in mind if you're thinking about renovating your home while you still live in there. Depending on what the room is, the kitchen is the heart of the home. So this has been kind of difficult, but it's gonna be worth it. But anyway, all these drawers have to go back in here, there. All of the cabinet doors have to go back on. The new cabinet doors, those are gonna be glass. And that's why the box, the inside of the box is white. These ones are gonna stay the natural wood color because they're gonna be covered by the doors, which are white. So you'll see it when it all comes together. It's gonna make sense. They have put the tiles up, but not the grout. So I have these blue tape. This is, after the work is done, you come back, take a look, and point out things that they need to fix. So that's what those blue tapes are. So anywhere that I feel like needs to be fixed, I put a blue tape. Here, for example, when they ripped out the old backsplash, they kind of ripped out a little bit of the paint in the wall. So I want them to change that. And then right here, you'll see that when they paint it, they kind of, like, it's kind of together. This paint got on this wall, this paint got on this wall. So they'll fix that as well. And that's more obvious. You can see that a lot more. So yeah, those little things, they're not done, but they told me to go ahead and look for things that I feel like is out of place. So this, for example, again, the grouting is not done, so you can still see the space. This piece is just laying here. It's not glued in yet. And then this box is kind of shaky. They're gonna tighten that, fix that. So just little things like that. I do have the remote. Let me show you guys. This is the remote for the lights, all right? It's daytime, so you're not gonna really see it. I have two remote, one for this and then one for the rest of the kitchen. So this, let's turn it on. Uh-oh, I did that wrong. All right, there we go. Let me turn it back off. All right. And the under cabinet too, there's lights under the cabinets. You can't really see it because it's, again, daytime. Let me turn it off and then let me turn it back on. And at nighttime, it's beautiful. And then for under here, where the bar stool goes, let's see, let's turn that on. Is it on? Yeah, it's on, but you can't really see it. Yeah, nighttime. I'm going to show you guys when the whole thing is done. But yeah, this is what the kitchen looks like as of today. Whoa, I almost fell. It looks completely different already, all right? The granite with the graining, you know, the busy graining, that's gone. We have mostly white now. We have our gold accents, gold and black accents. You're going to see a lot more of the black once the cabinets are back on and the handles are back on. Not the cabinets, the cabinets and the doors. I did match up the, what's it called? I matched up the handles for the ones on top to match the ones on the bottom. Lucky for me, they had it. So that's what's in this bag. Let me show you. I'm using one hand to do this, but yeah, these are the handles. They're heavy and they're like $7 a piece, so they're kind of expensive. And this is another thing to keep in mind. Whenever you're getting materials, always get a little bit more and make sure you keep your receipt. That way, if you don't end up using everything, you can always return it versus getting less and then the job is going and then they run out. It's a lot of waste of time. So yeah, that's something to keep in mind. But anyway, like I said, the tiles are on, but the grout is not in. That's why you can kind of see like the like empty spaces, they're gonna put in the grout and all of this is gonna be smooth and you're not gonna tell, like you're not gonna see any empty spaces, but right now you can see the holes. So again, here, the grout is gonna go there. And this is the tile. I actually got a whole lot of tiles, but now I get to return it because the tile work is done. And I have this box. I actually have 3 boxes of tiles. I'll show you the other boxes. Those right here. I told you my house is a mess, so please don't judge. These 2 are the 2 boxes, the 2 other leftover boxes. So again, same things with the handles, same things with the grout. I got 2 things of grout. If they don't use all of it, I'll return the other one. The light, same thing. But yeah, family, that is the details right now. That's the update. Let me turn that off so we're not wasting, electricity. So this is what the remote looks like. I have 2, as I said, one for here and one for up there. So I just have to keep this where I can always find it. And if I lose it, I can always get another one. But we're gonna try not to lose those. A hot mess everywhere, a freaking hot mess. My greatest pet peeve. I hate it when my house looks like this. It just looks, look, the bar stools are over there. They're chilling over there. The living room is not the same. I got some plantain yesterday. Since I can't put it in my cute little bowl that I usually have on the countertop, I have it in here. So it's just here chilling. But yeah, I'll keep you guys updated on more of the kitchen, so stick around for that.